The Lincoln Tunnel, through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Here's Fields. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Fields now to throw. He's to the 15, and finally wrestled down at the 11. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far, running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Fields. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reynolds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Throwing again is Fields. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Josh Reynolds, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now Prescott. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down up near the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Now Prescott. That is caught. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense, because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 9. A give to Williams, running right. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to throw now. Prescott over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Ferguson. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Great job here by this defense. They try to bring the receiver from one side of the field to the other, hoping he'll get lost in the wash. But a really nice job there to make a quick tackle and force 4th and goal.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Hall on a give up the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 42 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Fields. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Fields. He'll get this to Lazard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Hall again on 2nd down. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Fields. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, You've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They want to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Back to throw. Fields. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson from 6 yards away as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That is caught by Lamb. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 36 yards on the play.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll take this down to the 33.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. Prescott now. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as the tackle is made right at the 25-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Williams is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Williams again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Javonte Williams. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are back within a score.
2 good drives on their first 2 possessions. Remember, the first wound up in a field goal, but we all know field goals aren't going to cut it in the NFL, so they're not going to be denied here, and they wind up punching this one into the end zone.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 78 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
He finds Wilson, and he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw now on first down, and they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Straight ahead is Hall. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Prescott. Right back to Tolbert. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jets will take over. Fields now to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. A handoff for Hall. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's good for a Jet 1st down, a gain of 13.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Hall again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Now it's Fields. Dancing to his, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. No stopping Peyton Turner on that sack. He would not be denied.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Prescott to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Off the option, here's Williams. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Down to the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Allen Lazard, 66 yards. And the Jets have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Tolbert hauls in the out route. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now Prescott. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Prescott yet again. This one swung out to Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Comeback route into the hands of Tolbert. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Final play of the half, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, as time expires in the first half. And the Cowboys get a late touchdown here on the final play of the first half. Aubrey good with a PAT. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now an option play on second down. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up.
Here's Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. On the option to give to Williams here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Left side to Lamb. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a pre. Here's a diving catch right side. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 53 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, Things are definitely working in your favor.
Here's a give to Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Here's Fields. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Now 2nd and 5. Taking in left side, it's Wilson. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run with Hall. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Now Fields. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. DeMarvion Overshown, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal, and still a long way from the end zone. Fields. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Micah Parsons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That is caught. Schoonmaker. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On play action, Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
They'll throw again. Prescott. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Javonte Williams.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And New York set to take the field.
And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Fields.
That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Back to throw. Fields. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
They'll give to Hall. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 127 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That's complete, right side to Lazard. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more on that one and another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw is Fields.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Osa Odigizua with the effort there to earn the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Off play action, Fields. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Here's Fields. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
So on now is Greg Zuerlein in a pressure situation. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the 2nd half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. They begin the drive with Williams. Feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Prescott now. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Throwing, Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try to go with a quicker guy and sometimes even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Second down and 6 now. Now a toss left side. It's Williams. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now Hall to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. They'll go again with Hall. 136 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll run with Hall. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
2nd and 5. On play action, Fields. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
3rd down and 1. Now Hall. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Fields now to throw. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
DeMarvion Overshown able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field.
And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal? In case of a defense.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
Back to it after the pick 6. Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it 2nd down. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time. All right, it's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys 1st down as he's up to the 40-yard line.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ferguson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Prescott yet again. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Now Prescott. That is caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Buying time to his left.
After the costly interception late, good job by him to keep it himself that time. Just tuck it, run it, and scramble for the marker. Don't give the coverage another chance at taking it away from you.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's 1st and goal. Now Prescott. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. Prescott. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front and getting to them. Other times you add extra.
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Fields down to a knee here, and that should just about put a bow on this one. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife.